Hi everybody, Cohh here with another base tour, this time in Grounded 1. We recently came back to Grounded 1 before Grounded 2, EA starts pretty soon, and I wanted to revisit it, kind of just to do the main story, but it became a little more than that. So this is a Grounded, fully yoked 1.4 base build. It is by no means one of my bigger ones, but it was definitely a lot of fun to do as we kind of re-explored this game. So this is our base right here. We decided to build near the oak tree, which I hadn't built next to before. It's basically, the location is designed so, or the location is based on being very easy to access in all locations around the map. We also have a lot of nice access to our zip lines up top. But going up here, we kind of start with the initial area. This was where the base started.
Everything looks good from here.
This is where I keep all my heads and try to bring in like all the different resource drop-offs that I need to do different things. We also have some infrastructure around the base of the tree so we can get around a little bit easier. Going in from here, this is our main area. We have a lot of scaffolding and infrastructure under here, but honestly, it's just for looks. We don't really need it in this game. And what I learned in building this base is that I'm going to build a completely different style of base in Grounded 2, because this is not a good base for base rates. So many other ideas in the future. As we move into the main hall here, this is where all the magic happens. We've got pretty much everything laid out by usage. So we've got like little areas for different things. We've got our kind of inventory and equipment area over here. We've got our food prep and cooking area over here. Out here is our drying racks, some grinders, and some water racks in the back. Coming around the side, we've got our farm. This is a fully enclosed farm out here. We were using these mostly for growing the mussel sprouts, which are a great base for heals. As a solo player, I need a lot of heals. So this area here kept me going for most of our playthrough, which was great. These are glow-in-the-dark lights, which is kind of fun. They only turn on at night because they're full of lightning bug stuff, which is really cool. Going on to the first floor down here, this is our production floor with all of our storage. This is where our sewing looms are. We also have some various different crafting stuff. We have multiple of each because, again, as a solo player, I need to like farm a ton of stuff that is normally designed for a lot of different people. So I generally have lots of different types of engines so we can do a bunch at once. Moving up to the second floor, this is our armory. So these are all the different armor sets we've used throughout the game. Something I love about this game is that armor sets don't always get better. A lot of times they're just different. So it's a really good idea to kind of save all your previous armor sets. Like whenever we go underwater, we use this one. This is our ranged one. We don't really use too often because I don't use range. This is great for sizzle protection. This one was a great armor one. So it's like this is our heaviest armor set right here. This one makes it so red ants don't hate us. And it's kind of nice having a reason to keep all this stuff, which I love about it. So moving up to our next floor, this is just our bedroom. There is a super cool coziness value in this game. And as you get the coziness up of your base, you unlock blueprints and all sorts of stuff. A certain game I may be working on may have a similar system. It's a great system. So that's kind of like the top floor where we get all our coziness and stuff. Finally, actually not finally, but next up, we go up our little jumping ladder here. If I were playing this longer, I definitely would put a lot more infrastructure in the back. I hate how flimsy that looks. I'd love to build like wooden infrastructure up the back so it looks more like the bottom. But again, you don't really need to do that at all. It's just for good looks. As we go up to the top, those are our two animal houses, by the way. One of them is Dance Gaming, and the other one is Anthony Kongfant. Our black and fire ant pets. They are phenomenal. Up here we have our zip lines. These are zip lines to all different places on the map. Zip lines are one of the best ways to get around in Grounded. So we have like this area up here. As you can see, we pretty much have zip lines every corner of the map, which makes it so easy to get around from our base, which is so nice. So the zip line system in this game is great. We have mounts to look forward to in Grounded 2 and zip lines later, but we'll see how that all works out. So coming over here, we have some zip lines on the other side as well to reach some other areas. I also used to use this as a drop down to get into our main base. So I would actually drop down into that hole in the top you see there, but we changed that on the other side to make something a little bit more, I'd say, properly done. And the reason I say that is because something really cool about this game is these bounce pads, not only do they bounce up at full power, but they can also bounce at angles at lower power. So what you can do, for instance, is make it so now I can just run off the top of my base, and that just bounces me back towards my base at a little power. It doesn't matter how high I fall from, it's always safe, which is really nice. So, have a little bit extra water stuff here. The last part of our base, outside of like the various infrastructure that just kind of connects everything together, which is all over the tree, is our trophy room. Now this, if I were playing Grounded longer, this would have been the room that I really wanted to grow out. I would have loved this to be like up and wrapping around the tree, and for each one of these to have like their own, like a museum, right? So have like this in his own spot, and then next on the next one you have that in his own spot. So if I was playing this a lot longer, that would have been the vision. So we would have had this kind of like trophy room that wraps up around the tree in tiers, and on each tier there would be like their own little exhibits. But again, you know, I've only played this for a week to get ready for 2, so this room was functionally awesome, but yeah, could have been a lot prettier. But anyway, really, that's about it. I mean, this is a super simple base. It was a lot of fun to build. Maybe gives you some ideas for your own base builds. Looking back, the one thing in this game that is very prevalent is base rating. And when your base gets raided, it can be raided by flying enemies. So one of the things we'll be doing in Grounded 2 is we will be very much accounting for that in the construction of our base. Because unfortunately, when you build a giant base, it's really hard to see around, of flimsy material, turns out that's not the easiest base to defend. I know. So the third time I had a base defense event that I had to spend 30 plus minutes repairing the base, I decided I probably should build something different next time. So yeah, that's my little tip to you guys would be, do not build a base like this and have base raids turned on. Our plans for Grounded 2, I think we're going to do like a pyramidal build, or a fragile structure with a periphery wall with some kind of air defense. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But anyway, that's our Grounded 2 base tour. I hope you are Grounded 1 base tour. Stay tuned for our Grounded 2 base tour. And as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the base tour playlist. We have lots of other builds and lots of other games. If you like this stuff, be sure to check them out. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Okay.